8, 9. 9 spaces for this one. And then the next skip is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spaces. That's 2 less spaces.
Okay. If you really want me to work with the spaces, I will count the spaces for episode 2.
And then the next one is 5. 9, 7, 5. And then you go up one, and it's like 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then it goes to 5 again.
I did not, like I mentioned, I did not count all of these.
And then look, in this one, it's only 1 space. 1 extra space.
Okay, some of these are on purposefully only 1 space.
Should I start sharing my screen, or are you gonna...
So, since it's like your reaction, do you want to turn on like your face cam or no?
Oh yeah, the one I don't have.
I mean, you have one on your laptop.
And I'm on. When have I ever called on my laptop? Out of how many years we've called?
I mean, you forget the laptop thing. You sometimes turn on face cam in general.
Oh yeah, whenever I'm in bed with my phone.
That's besides the point. Okay.
So am I supposed to begin this yet, or no?
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's like 3 minutes into the recording, by the way.
Oh, so I'm supposed to have started a while ago. I got it.
Well, I can just cut a lot of it out, so this could be the beginning of the video.
But are you gonna?
Probably not. Okay.
The universe was simple. There was only black and white.
Oh, I got the Libra thing
and
going
dark,
on?
Good.
The yin and yang?
Evil. But
Yin
when
and
two
yang.
forces
It's like
clashed, a contrasting
a very
blend of
important
various
part of this
shapes
first
was
5 minutes.
born.
I'm waiting for
This
the
color
stick
mixed
fight.
further and in greater detail.
Ah, so this is like when all of the dinosaurs died. The reason they really died is because, like, they all had short arms. Okay, far, far away, like, in a galaxy. Far, far
I don't
away.
say in a galaxy, so it's not copyright. You're getting a glimpse of the stick fight, technically.
I'm noticing a lot of these uses. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Those who... Okay.
So, I'm glad you saw that.
So, something that I'm noticing now, at least for this part specifically, the background is extremely bright and kind of makes it difficult to see the other character.
Ah, that's a good point. I will keep that in
Like-
mind when I work with
Like
future
with the
episodes.
contrast is something I'm noticing. Like, if you look, like with the deeper black compared to that, you can see the difference and stuff, but like the light of that background seems extremely bright.
I focused on keeping the background consistent. I didn't even consider that as an option.
Like, see, like right here it's fine, but like once you get to the top middle, how that like white, it's a very similar color as the other character, so it kind of blends together.
Yeah,
But with like it contrasts very well for the black side.
if I moved
So-
it to the left rather than keeping it consistent, I bet it would have worked a lot better.
I think, or if it was just mildly darkened, I think it would have more contrast overall. Like, see, like I think this looks a lot better than when it was all zoomed in. Like, see, that looks fine and good there, but with the white.
Let's settle this, Yin.
Okay.
They were the first two cosmic beings.
So I
given
know
free
you're
will
probably
by the
gonna be mad, but just hear me out. It's gonna look good, and it's not long.
Oh gosh, I already know where you're getting this from. It kind of makes me upset. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Look, that's a cool shot.
An axe.
That was all the animator's idea. I had completely different places for this series to go.
I
of
do
hope
like
for
how
good and
the
evil.
getting shown.
The power the creators desired. That was until
15, 14, 12. That's a long number.
So that was number 3. You missed number 2.
Right from
I normally
the
catch a lot of things.
I was surprised you missed it. Even I caught it, and I'm watching on like the bad version. By the way, I'll mention it. There's like later on in the episode, some of the subtitles I accidentally just like forgot to
I wonder
do.
who voice acted this.
everything once and for all.
I mean, I didn't want to pay for a voice actor for the main character. Let's be honest.
dead.
What do you mean, dead?
I hope after years of hearing my voice, it's not the worst thing ever.
Dead, huh? And this is...
So what do you mean?
Someday I'm happy.
I know. It's a pier.
That does it. She's crazy. Messing around, will ya?
I
Just
wanted
leave me out of here.
what I couldn't have
Look,
got, but what I wanted was like a Saitama meme face for that part.
What a guy.
This also probably looks really bad, but
What was
like,
that?
that's the best I could do.
Random gold waiting for you.
I don't think you've heard it with the words.
I haven't.
Yes.
I'm telling you right now, I'm straight up getting Konosuba vibes.
Based off of how it goes, it separates from Konosuba like immediately. Like at no point does the main character bring the angel into a world that isn't this. By the way, this was me doubling it, and honestly, it sounds like the voice just glitched out. I wish I could have made it sound a little better.
So, I have a couple of questions that I'm
Okay.
going to... So, one, is the girl that sung that the same one that was the angel girl?
No, two different people. They do
Okay.
sound similar though, I will give you
Okay.
that.
Now, that's something I was curious on. And then, did you have to write this, or did you have somebody else write it?
The song lyrics?
Yes.
So, cool thing about these song lyrics, first of all, I did write it. Second of all, the song lyrics take all of the titles of the opening and they put it in order in a way that the song makes sense.
Okay.
So, later
So that
on,
was-
hopefully people will realize that and are like, wow, that's cool.
Ah,
What are you sharing this to?
my YouTube channel.
Oh. Okay. You could just do Zombie Dude. Oh my god, where am I? Did you I'll take it. By the way, so as a mystery series, what do you think of all the like things that I've introduced so far?
Concept-wise,
Yeah, like the whole introduction of the yin yang thing.
I'm gonna be real. No idea where it's going yet. 100% totally lost. Don't really get the point of the site, but it's like a cool footnote. It's more of an Easter egg thing.
The stars are kind of inspired from Call of Duty Zombies, if I'm gonna be honest. Like, you don't need to know any of them to get the full story, but if you see them, they will help and are also really cool if you do.
I was thinking more along the lines of like Blood Lad or in Mob Psycho, how he has like the Saitama background and stuff.
Okay, I can have Easter eggs. I don't know if they count as Easter eggs.
I don't know how much you remember of Blood Lad, but like a lot of it, there was a whole bunch of references to other shows just hidden in every episode.
Yeah, I guess I take inspirations from other episodes rather than... Well, you'll probably be able to tell when certain scenes happen, I guess.
Viewing pleasure.
By the way, that was just to prevent SJWs from cancel culturing me.
Are you ready to listen to what I have to say? Now then, I hope you are ready to
Next
begin.
question. So how important
Welcome to
is
your
this
first
angel
step.
girl? Like, is she meant to like be like a transitional character, or does she have heavy importance?
She is of heavy importance. She's like the second main character. I would consider there to be 3 main characters.
Okay,
But you don't
so-
be introduced to the third
Got
one
it.
until later.
So okay, so this would be Tanjiro, and this would be Borgai, and then the other one better not be Zenitsu.
The other one's not Zenitsu, and this, I would say, is not Borgai. Borgai would be closer to a character later on that isn't as important.
And probably not Borgai still. Borgai's pretty hard to replicate.
Sadly, there's no character that directly replicates Borgai.
Well, that's impossible.
Well,
Like, he's the main character of your show, you just don't know it yet.
By the way, that's a mid-title card. I'll have one of
Purgatory.
those.
Okay, I should probably read that.
It's important, but like you don't have to. But like it's cool, I guess. I thought this was a cool concept.
Okay, so for one... So, is this where, like, consciousness and free will are, like, considered to be, like, opposites?
I don't like specify in the series, but obviously it's a very big theme. Yeah, I like people to
Opposing.
figure stuff out on their own.
Am I gonna have to, like, take notes?
You can, but you don't have to.
And I'm just gonna, like, have, like, a lot of arrows pointing to things?
well, you see,
On with it.
I'd love to explain. Believe me, I would.
I like this
But
retro
we
theme
are
in the back.
kinda on a tight schedule.
Schedule?
Stay in purgatory too long, you disappear.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You haven't... Did you see... This... My whole world just clicked right now.
Okay.
So I don't think that you've seen this yet, but this is the exact same purgatory that's in 7 Deadly Sins. Time flows at a different rate, and just being in purgatory for 10 seconds, it's like almost 100 years pass in purgatory.
Oh no, that's a very that's like the exact same thing, and I don't even bring it up in this episode.
It's one of the greatest scenes of all time in any show ever.
I know, and I haven't even seen it yet.
That connection that you didn't even intend on making literally just already
My
like
name?
made me pretty happy.
It's...
Who was he not gonna remember his name?
He's not. Ooh.
Don't remember.
He's
Do you?
losing his memories is the first part of vanishing.
Pity. You really can't remember a thing.
This is gonna be, dude. Is this gonna be a quest to get his memories back?
It is.
You need to know
Hit the title, false perfections, because his memories are false and he's making new memories, just like the Part 8 JoJo.
Oh my god, stop figuring everything out. It's supposed to be a mystery. This is all your fault. You've seen every anime already.
I've seen so many animes, I just know the instant tropes that go with everything, and I put it together, and it's pretty cool. So the Part 8 JoJo, I haven't actually read too much of it yet, because I'm reading Part 6, but from what I've seen of it, he loses his memories in an accident, and the whole entire story is him trying to figure out who he is. Okay, at one point, it gets to a point where everything kind of collides, and he has a choice to, like, I think it was save somebody that he made as a friend, or, like, save the people that he was working with, but at the cost of losing all of the memories he worked to regain.
So that's definitely not what happens in my series, but so for mystery series, I think you should always have to figure out the title as it goes along.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you like figured it out immediately, but it's cool because basically when people figure out the title is when the characters figure out like a big revelation. It's like a whole big plot twist.
Out of all the shows you watch, I'm normally pretty good at predicting a lot of things.
I did. You just okay. It has nothing. Why did you immediately link it specifically to the title? He's like,
Dude,
it must be his memories that are the false perfection. Of course.
Because I keep... Look, this is...
Pity.
1 second. Let me go.
Don't remember.
The second I saw, like... Oh, wait, my name? If you're not immediately knowing that, alright. Memory, that's going to be an issue. That's going to be a plot point. False perfections, alright? The term false, and maybe I'm like, oh, false memories, false ideals, that's what it goes to.
You just got through like 8 episodes worth of plot in like
I
2
can't
minutes
remember
of
a thing.
actual episode.
Can
Are you upset or, like, kind of happy that
You
I'm,
need
like,
to know the
both.
honest answer
putting
of
things together? Both?
where you belong. You weren't the first to die since this
This
started
is cool.
becoming
You
a
get
problem.
to see
you
like
know?
the whole
These
origin.
colors linger.
So this would be a
This-
representation of everything that makes up one's being.
Yes, this is the entirety of a single person, which I thought was really cool.
With, like, this probably being what dictates your consciousness or free will.
everything
the inside of the core, and the outside is
that
what
makes
covers that.
you
You're going
You-
so in depth. I love it.
you. Because they didn't remember them doesn't mean they
Boom,
didn't
see?
have
Not
them.
remembering, getting memories back. Right there.
Sad, you know?
Okay, sure.
Okay, so another
But-
question.
Yeah.
This is a different character model than when it's zoomed in, isn't it?
I'm not gonna lie, this character model is kind of blurry, which is really sad, but I can't really do anything about it because it was like made tiny and I just made it bigger. This was actually the original concept art.
So it kind of seems like the character's kind of changing throughout with the zooms.
It's also a thing of like, I'm kind of like taking the character from scenes that he's already in different places. So like, obviously different places are lit differently. So like, certain shadows aren't necessarily going to make sense, but there's not much I can do for that.
So with the image, you might be able to like kind of sharpen parts of it though.
I was thinking about that, and I'll probably try that for future episodes, but this episode's kind of like too late to try that.
Who am I?
And then she's in the same
We-
boat.
Are the
Dude,
temporary
I love this
solution
part. Like, they're all
Temporary.
frowning.
problem.
And I just...
We?
We are those who have already moved on. We are known as
Okay.
judgment passers. It is our job to help stranded
This is
souls
the
who
origin.
Dude, all of them are
Think
depressed.
of
Is that...
me as your
Excuse me?
What? Who? What?
Help stranded
Don't
souls
at
who
me
wind
here.
up here.
Do not tell me that is not Goku.
It's the artist was inspired from Dragon Ball Z, the manga, so he uses certain techniques like making lines sharper and thicker.
And using the copy-paste Goku hair. And straight up putting him in like a gi type thing and having the Goku armbands. Don't at me, that is Goku.
Okay, that's all of their outfits though.
Only those who know they have a pure heart can enter
Ooh.
the place they belong.
Ooh, pure heart. That's absolutely the yin of the story, and the yang is that's gonna be the third. I don't know if is that gonna be the third main character, or is that gonna be like the antagonist? Ooh, one.
You can argue all three characters are different representations of either yin or yang, which is
Okay.
the coolest part.
You could argue that Garo is pure of heart or pure evil.
You could.
Is this gonna be like a similar concept?
That is kind of introduced in season 3. But I do think the characters are well written enough to where is basically the opposite of both of the other characters, but both of the other characters are basically direct opposites of each other. Also, I don't name the other two characters. Just straight up ever.
That's why I was so
Like at all.
Probably should.
In the books I do. I might do it in the series later if I change my mind.
I will get you out of purgatory, no matter what.
So I'm just gonna call her
But
Guardian.
how?
Okay, I call her the
You know
angel.
what I was like when I was alive?
Your entire life.
Ooh, look
I
at
need
that.
you to be
orb.
prepared.
Maybe if I ask enough questions, she'll slip up.
That's such an anime
Besides,
cliche.
How do I know I can really trust you?
Dude, is he like?
Everything
Is
from
that like
that
the
zoom
point-
to the word.
All I want is to help you, you know?
There's an app.
But I digress.
I'm going to bet money that there's a secondhand motive to why she's helping him.
You're going to learn that this character was made to hate, even though like she's a well-written character. So overall, as a character, you're gonna like her, but you're gonna like be forced to hate her. And you've even seen it throughout this episode, how she's basically wording it in a way to manipulate him.
So I'm under the impression that she doesn't actually care. I feel like in the end goal, it will help him, but the goal is more so to help herself, because all of them were frowning.
There is definitely going to be a sense of irony in this.
So there's going to be like a sense of progression for her too, to make it further, or to like either finally pass or like reincarnate or something of the sort.
Basically, it's not even like a narrative thing. No, it's literally in the story that these three characters change compared to other characters who don't on purpose.
But how will you show me my
Look at
entire
the
life?
subtitles.
You see
A
this?
total fail. Total fail.
But how will you show me
I
my
do that
entire
one time again later on, and it's
Wow.
like for like 3
You see
lines.
this place?
What a guy.
Keep in mind.
I don't know how I
it was
could have
originally an
possibly
empty
missed
world.
that.
Never underestimate people.
There it is.
Nor their emotions.
Look at those subtitles.
Never.
Terrible.
I may not remember who I am. Once I find out my past, I swear it. I'll be the first to get to heaven.
Excuse me, the first? There's not already anyone in heaven?
Okay, I literally, I didn't script this line at all. As I was voice acting the end of this episode, I was like, man, I gotta add something. So it's like the end of episode 1, his goals are clearly motivated, established, right? And that just came out. And you can even hear it in my voice. Like, I don't really know what I'm gonna say before I say it. So it's like, I'll be the first to get to heaven. It's terrible. It's the worst line in this entire series.
Heaven. My past, I swear it. I'll be the first to get to heaven.
You can hear it so
first
much.
to get to... I love that moment of hesitation.
That's a promise.
And the whole point of the line was to take out any hesitation.
Ooh, episode 1, promise broken.
Yeah.
So not all of this was already expected. Now something unexpected would happen.
Expected happened.
This is
Yin
important
and
to the
Yang
beginning.
found they could end the never-ending conflict they had been born into and restore their universe forever.
Ooh. Ooh, and then the end title card. I love the look of it. And then the credits. They're so cool. I also wrote my name a lot.
Yes, well, I'm actually... I don't know how I'm in there. I've edited nothing.
You removed that, like, second of the ABC text at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, so that was a last-minute ad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like I have not played a big part, but I feel like I will be probably doing a lot of critiquing.
I mean, without you, the narrative would probably be different. Just because you have, like, influenced my life throughout anime.
Oh, I'm at the very bottom. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Fun, don't fall in.
So every episode, I'm gonna add a special credit to where one person gets it at the end to, like, whoever did the most that episode or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never, like, obviously repeat. But obviously, since episode 1, Yin and Yang, I had to throw that guy in there.
Okay. I normally never watch previews.
You don't have to. Though, I will say, I try to make the preview cool to where it's like, it fits narratively, and I change it to where it's not exactly what happens. And it doesn't reveal anything because it's a mystery show.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't think that I don't want to say influenced much of anything per se.
But
I mean, like, I feel like as you were writing it, out of all of the judgments that I passed, at least in, like, early production, probably changed a few things.
the original series, like 3 years ago, was very different from this. Like, basically, the original series was when he first woke up, but minus all the yin and yang stuff, and all the introduction stuff, and the characters were different, and never really changed. And it was more so about focused on collecting their memory, because the series was inspired by a game called To the Moon, which I don't think you know anything about.
Mm-mm.
But basically in that game, it's about this old guy who's dying, and he has to collect his memories through help of people whose job it is to help people collect memories. So that's what the series was going to be, but then I changed it because I realized specifically the characters wouldn't really necessarily allow that.
Okay, so how much did I pick up on that I shouldn't have picked up on?
You've basically ruined the first half of this season.
Okay, next up, did I miss anything that I shouldn't have missed?
You missed the second, which was in the Yin versus Yang animation. It was on the black guy's forehead when he was opening his eyes.
Ah.
So yeah, I'll just throw in cool little
See, I thought
hints
that
like
part
that.
was pretty
So basically, the main thing that inspired the biggest change in the series is, so you know, like how at the end of the episode you get the two characters and they're supposed to go on this quest together or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can kind of see how the main character doesn't necessarily trust the angel.
Because yeah, it seems like he kind of wants to get.
Yeah, he has his
They both have their own motives.
Yeah, exactly. And as time goes on, they can't both get what they want necessarily. So originally, it was just supposed to be the main character follows the angel just basically blindly, taking him through his life. Whereas in this version,
Now he's a low-key savage? Is this what it is?
basically, rather than growing more trustful, he grows less trustful.
And then also, like, I don't think you told me too much about the series, in all honesty. Like, I mean, points and stuff over the literal years since it started. But, like, avoided the topic of, like, the main... This is... Oh, so in the story, this X, Y, and Z happened so far. I have this storyboarded next. So...
I probably was telling you, like, whole different seasons and everything.
Yeah, and like, the order wasn't exactly fluid either. So, I don't know. I think I did pretty good at picking up on things, but I don't know.
So I want you to be brutally honest, not just in general, but compared to actual anime. Out of 10, how would you rate this? Like everything. Animation, story, voice acting, all of it. Because I'll admit there were several things I would like to change.
Being realistic with the animation, I mean, just gotta be realistic about it. But mouth flaps on, like,
Yes.
not even for the, but like at least for like major scenes, I think would be a big major plus. And then trying to see if like a few of the models would be possible to sharpen.
I do plan on doing voice flaps for the movie, but like as a first episode, I was kind of running out of time, and if I did it for some but not others, I feel like it'd be more jarring than anything. That's even like I realized that in the rough draft because I had like a couple different people do a couple different art styles, and I realized switching just willy-nilly between the art styles, nobody's gonna be able to like follow along as easily.
But I think like the biggest thing overall would just kind of be like choice of color and contrast.
That as
Like,
well. You did mention that.
Because I noticed like kind of like zoom in to like show like the main part of the character you want to focus on and stuff, like, you know, the whole movie spiel like that of like how they kind of forced where your eyes to go. But like there was so much focus on that color was ignored at certain parts. Some parts it was fine, like there, but like sometimes like the contrast, like here I think it was pretty good. Obviously, like I think that was fine and stuff. Maybe I'm not like epileptic, but like that's a lot of color. And like the whites
I didn't
are really
even consider that.
It's more so the whites that are really strong compared to everything else. Like this is whiter than these eyes.
Nothing in the background is really like animated moving, so hopefully nobody gets a seizure, but I feel like it would definitely be fine on that.
Like just like this, like see like right here. I don't know. I think that part's fine, but like all of these, like I think that was pretty good.
Well, you can just see like this up. By the way, this was like the one image that I used, completely zoomed out. So that's like what it actually looks like. And this is basically all these backgrounds are just the same image zoomed in. Like you saw in the editing.
You know, I noticed that, and I mean, I'm expecting that, and I'm not expecting much movement because that's a big deal for both time and budgets and stuff. But these whites are extreme.
And I was trying to keep it consistent. Like even with the background, the angel specifically is there, like where it's less messy, whereas the main character is more where it is messy. Like if you actually look at the actual background in full, you'll kind of see where it is versus where it isn't. I purposefully did it like that just to show the difference in the characters.
I'd probably just say, like, if possible, to like have it darker.
Have the characters
like,
pop out a little bit more.
So the brighter and more flashy the background is, the more your eyes draw to that than the actual characters on screen. And the darker it is, will put more emphasis on the characters.
I will keep that in mind. Because I do have like a whole bunch of different backgrounds for when Purgatory like changes or when they're in different aspects of it or whatever.
So like, this is an example.
Oh god, you're
This is like my go-to example.
Oh no. The literal worst one.
Like the background is pretty similar.
Yeah. In a way, it's good that you're comparing to that, because that was like kind of the
Also,
goal
like,
for the background, just like for story wise. It's colorful compared to at the beginning.
but
It
like
was
also
so
the
blank.
characters in this show, they're a lot lighter.
Oh, I do see
And also
that.
like the background being so bright has meanings because it's actually a pretty dark story. And that's why like the clothes are always so bright and stuff. Like it's done phenomenally. And this is actually, I think this one is in like my top 20.
So going back to the ratings compared to actual anime, I don't know what you would rate it, but I'd probably rate it like a 7 out of 10.
I wouldn't. I don't have enough information to be like I would watch this every single week if I didn't know you.
Okay. Yeah, because that's another thing, is that, like, if this was just, like, on the normal season, like, if this was on just Crunchyroll, for example, and you just stumbled across it and watched this.
Well, I mean, also like keeping like this being a personal project in mind is also another big thing because you like One Piece, $100,000 per episode compared to.
And I'd say, like, $2,000 per season 1
Mhm.
would be my guess.
So I mean, it makes sense, but I don't know. I like the story.
And keep in mind, that's $2,000 divided over 13 episodes, including, like, other stuff that I did.
This is where you just kind of hope that like, so like 1x1 is that season 1, episode 1?
Yeah.
Would it be better to like change the title to like season 1, episode 1?
I mean, I don't know about better, but I've been planning on doing that for a while, honestly.
I don't know. I think that would look better.
And the original, instead of subtitled, obviously because the original isn't subtitled, it says the actual title of the episode, which is Awakening, which is also kind of a cliche first episode title.
You said episode 1's gonna be, or season 1's 13 episodes?
Yeah. And episode 1 is kind of long compared to the next few episodes, I think, because I'm still editing it, but I think episode 2 is going to be like 13 minutes or around there. Maybe like 15, probably more than 10 though.
So the goal is to keep them above 10?
The goal is to keep them at 10. If I make every episode 10 minutes long, I'll be happy. Except for episode 6, because that's a special episode that I'm doing, like, specifically just by myself.
And that's the one that'll be tough.
That's the one that's going to be, like, 4 minutes. It's probably going to be, like, at least 7 minutes, no matter what I do. With the next episode previews and all of that.
Let's see, what are the new ones coming out this season? I still gotta finish episode 1 of that to see if it's worth watching. I actually kind of wanted to watch this too.
So, I know you basically already guessed, like, half the season, but do you have any other theories, just based off, like, all the mystery stuff I presented?
Well, you said there's a third main character, so I'm not really too sure who that is. And you said something about really liking the way the main antagonist is written. And I'm going to be honest, I don't really have a clue of how there's going to be an antagonist yet.
Okay.
That's something I am pretty confused on. Like, clearly there will be conflict and stuff, and I'm not sure if he's, like, going to be reliving his memories or taking a part in them, or if it's going to be of, like, a Steins Gate type thing of trying to alter them to prevent stuff, or of just, like, trying to remember who he is so he can move on.
So you've kind of called concepts of where the series is going, and I'm not going to give any comment on this no matter what you say, but what is your prediction of the ending? Whether it be the mid-season finale or season finale or whatever.
He's going to have his memories back at some point this season. And it might not even be everything, per se, but, like, it could be enough to figure out who he is. And I think after he figures out who he is, he's going to have done something of some importance. And with this whole yin and yang type spiel, he's going to be one of the people from that generation. The angel lady, guardian angel, is not, and the third antagonist will be the opposing ideal, or third protagonist. And the main antagonist will not be the opposing ideal outright, but will have some influence.
That is interesting, all of that you just said. This isn't important until, like, really after the mid-season finale. But when I say the main antagonist, I'm talking more so about the antagonist that's on screen the most and that is the most well-developed. Not like the most powerful, or you'll understand later. You will understand when you get there, though.
I'm going to assume that the show isn't gonna have a big strain on like how strong somebody is.
I will also say, episode 2 through 4, I wouldn't say is going to be as good as this episode because I tried to make this the premiere that like everyone's gonna watch as good as humanly possible. That being said, episode 5 and debatably 8 for story reasons, but then also 13 are gonna be like the good episodes, which I would include
Okay.
this in the good episodes. But like 5 and 13 are also going to have really cool animations. And actually, last night is when the guy finished the animations for episode 5.
Is there gonna be like another 3-year break before you go to season 2?
I've already thought about this, so considering the recap movie is probably going to take at least as long as the actual show, which is going to be a couple months. The recap movie is out in like May or June. After that, which actually is probably going to be out in June or July, considering I have like 2 specials I want to come out after the season, which are basically already done. After the recap movie, I'm going to be doing another big special project, which will probably take me to the end of the year again. And then after that, I can finally start working on season 2. So season 2 is probably going to be like a year and a half after season 1, but maybe hopefully just a year.
Or you could just hope that it blows up and you get an increased budget.
If that happens, it could come out like a month after. I have plans to like sponsor it through different sources.
You're getting not only a budget increase, but like a production increase too.
This hurts.
I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how this guy does it, but it's absurd.
Could you imagine?
You're like,
He could basically do this entire series, but like in a month. Just from start to finish. Rather than like the 2.5 to 3 years it took, he could just straight up do it in a month. By the way, I haven't ended the recording yet. I should probably end it.
like, look at this.
Okay, I'm gonna end it.